Why this is important, guys, too, is if you know how reality is created or how you manifest, it's basically when we talk about God, we are referring to the highest level of frequency as we know it. You literally can make reality bend at your will at the level of the body is the truth. It's the gateway to the divine because it's already streaming through it. You immediately become it. Your vibration shifts if you pay attention to the way your body responds. Time is going to speed up quick. Manifestation is going to happen like that. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, and hello if you are new. My name is Andrea Johnson. I am your mystical muse, your manifestation mind, your spiritual inspiration, here to inspire, empower, and teach you how to master your energy. Welcome to Mystical Muse Minds, where we discuss topics to expand our consciousness and improve our lives. Let me grab my coffee. Let's dive into today's topic. So you guys have probably heard the phrase becoming, especially if you are in the spiritual community and the personal development community. We are always becoming, we are always evolving, we are always in a forward motion, always ever changing. Well, I want to challenge that thought, as I have recently had a download. As we are moving into 2026 and goals are on the forefront of everything right now, we're going to ride that wave of the fake new year, as we are all hearing about that regardless. However, I want to challenge the thought of becoming, and I want you to think about, what if it is not becoming in 2026? What if it's more about remembering of who you've always been instead of becoming? I'm wanting to retire the phrase of becoming in 2026 because when you insinuate becoming, to me, it has an underlayer vibe of waiting. When you are becoming something, it's almost like a lag in time that you are insinuating that you're not the thing yet, right? That is just the way that I'm kind of taking it. Whenever I think of I'm remembering my truth, I'm stepping into my truth, I'm collapsing time. I'm collapsing a timeline and I'm becoming the thing now. So guys, in this video, I want to dive into why the 2026 year, the season of remembering instead of the season of becoming. So then you can start to remember your truth and start taking your power back and expand in higher states of consciousness. When we talk about becoming something, I want to break it down to not just honor it, because we have said that for so long, or at least I know I have said that phrase for a very long time, that I am becoming, I am evolving, I am changing. We are never not the same person in the moment, which is very true because we are always ever changing with every thought that we have. We are always expanding. We are always moving in some form of a direction, which is in truth, in some form of an aspect, in some form of a level of conscious awareness. That is indeed true, but there is a higher reframe, a higher mind reframe to help, I want to say, collapse timelines, to basically shift the, I want to say, human consciousness faster. Whenever we talk about becoming, it's basically talking about growth. It's talking about evolution. It's talking about healing. But when we talk about becoming, that we are insinuating we are not already whole. It steadily places our power in the future instead of in the present moment. So at a higher level of consciousness, growth doesn't look like becoming. It looks like remembering, because your true power is in the present moment. And when I talk about remembering, guys, what I mean by this is remembering your truth is that you are already whole, perfect, and complete. You do not need healing. It's a remembrance that you are source creator in itself. You are already connected to the divine. You are a fractal of the divine. You are God consciousness streamed into this body, channeled into this body, having a human experience. It is the remembering of that. Becoming is a form of an illusion of remembering. Remembering is a higher expanded state of consciousness. It's just a level up of a mind reframe, essentially. Like I said before, there is an aspect of truth to becoming, because when you are becoming, you literally are becoming something. When you have that idea, when you have that thought, you are doing the thing. You are literally becoming. So you are in that reality, right? You think something, you are embodying it. When you say you are becoming, that is the reality you create. So you have a slower momentum. You have time delays. You are slowly becoming the thing, or it's kind of like it's almost like, I don't even know if you ever become the thing, because you're always kind of projecting your power into the future, always kind of like traveling forward. But when do you ever arrive at the destination? You know, you kind of have to set goals or like little milestones along the way to then arrive at said destination to say that you have become the thing. In the moment, it is your truth. But to escape that loop in the mind, to escape that circuit, to expand into a higher level of conscious awareness, if you tell yourself, I am remembering, that is when you bring yourself back to the present moment. And then that becomes your reality. It brings you back into that I am power, that I am presence. And then you are it now. It collapses the timeline. It collapses that forward thinking, projecting your conscious awareness into the future, and the slow, gradual evolution forward of, you know, your mind designing a reality to, you know, kind of give you the characters and the plot along the way to evolve you slowly to have said journey and experience, to where when you're remembering here now, you're it now. So you're making movements as the thing now, without fear, in full faith as it now. So time is going to speed up quick. Manifestation is going to happen like that. It will happen as quick as you hold that level of faith and that vibration. So the more that you can hold that I am presence, or the remembering, which it can be difficult for some people, but the more you hold that thought, the more you're going to wire neuroplasticity pathways around that thought and become the thing. Your body will get used to that vibration, and it will eventually just be you. So you have to train your thought and your body to hold that level of frequency. It is a training of the mind and the body. That's all it is, to remember your truth. So let's recap this. Becoming is a time delay. It's gradual worthiness, gradual building in your faith of becoming said thing, becoming the manifestation of remembering, essentially. It's placing your power in the future. It's keeping the nervous system in a seeking mode, and it reinforces I'll arrive at said destination one day, or I'm not there yet. Becoming assumes separation. Remembering dissolves it. Becoming traps you in the illusion of time. Remembering collapses time. Let's talk more about the remembering aspect of it. When I talk about remembering, guys, versus becoming, I know for myself, when I talk about becoming, in my head, I'm not really thinking about source consciousness or source in itself. When I think about becoming, I'm thinking about becoming like a manifestation. I'm thinking about becoming, you know, some form of a goal or completion. I'm becoming the person that I need to be to achieve said thing, because I'm becoming something to achieve something in the physical. When I'm remembering, it is more of a spiritual 5D way of thinking, an expansion of consciousness, because when we are remembering that we are source consciousness in ourselves. It's that I am presence. It's the I am power, are the creator and having a human experience. And when you remember your truth, because that is your truth, that is the ultimate truth, when you can truly remember it and accept it. And what I mean by accepting it is there is something deep down inside of this body that when you say I am, the cells in the heart respond to it. And there is somewhere deep down that you subconsciously know, the body responds to it, that you are source consciousness. When you put I am in front of something, a statement, you immediately become it. Your vibration shifts if you pay attention to the way your body responds. If you bring your conscious awareness to your body, you will feel it shift. If you think you're making it up, if you think you're full of crap and you kind of like question it still, keep on saying that statement until something shifts inside of you, because something will eventually shift inside of you to where you do remember, because the body remembers, the subconscious remembers, it already knows, and it will catch the conscious mind up eventually. The body always has the truth in it. The body is the truth. It's the gateway to the divine, because it's already streaming through it, right? This is our, I want to say, channel. This is the gateway to actually the human experience here, because source is streaming through this body, right? Your conscious mind is the mind of God. You are God consciousness. You're just forgetting that you are it, the separation of it. But there's a communication that we forget about between our logical mind and the body, because your thoughts influence your body and your emotions influence your thoughts. So the vibrations in your body influence the hormones in your body, influence your thoughts. That is what I mean when I say coming back to the remembrance that you are source creator, and you literally can create anything that you want in this reality. You literally can make reality bend at your will, at the level of faith in which you have. And what I mean by this is, if you are 100% in your faith and you hold that level of vibration, the faster the manifestation comes in. So it's to say, like, when Jesus touched people, he healed them, right? That was the level of faith that the people had in Jesus to heal them. That was their level of faith, so much in Jesus to heal them that they healed themselves essentially in an instant, right? That's the potential that can happen. Miracles is really what we call it. Basically God coming into, say, physical form, but into the world. Let me rephrase that. The highest frequency of God's source, pure consciousness, pure love, I want to say. Because essentially all of everything is source. Everything is God, but you have different levels of frequency. And when we talk about God, we are referring to the highest level of frequency as we know it, but we're always expanding that frequency into higher states. That is kind of what the point of this experience is to have higher and higher states of expansion through the human experience. Recap: when you remember, it's more of a spiritual state of being. You're remembering you are source creator. It collapses time immediately. You are the observer. When you remember your true nature, you don't wait, you become, you move as the thing now. And when you move as the thing now, you're collapsing timelines, you're manifesting quicker and almost immediately. And the longer you can hold that vibration, the more you're going to manifest whatever it is that you want. As I was talking about before, the whole point of the human experience is to get to know oneself, or to get to know the self, or for God to basically expand itself. And what I mean by this, and kind of the message that I get, is for us to expand our frequency of love, for us to get to know higher states of love, for the universe to keep expanding itself. So in order to do that, we have to keep experiencing higher states of reality. And the only way to do that is to keep manifesting. And this is the process that the human goes through with, said evolution. But, when we call it evolution, it's, the expansion, we want to say that, or the remembering. We want to remember and make the movements now without hesitation, without fear, so we can expand faster. You guys know what I mean? So when we do this, when we are creating and remembering, we are able to create higher realities the faster that we manifest. And you're doing this because as you're creating and you're learning, and you're creating higher thoughts about yourself, the more that you gain wisdom and knowledge, right? So you don't ever gain the wisdom and knowledge until you build off of previous thoughts that you've had. So you don't know what you don't know until you've had the experience of what you previously know, right? So that's kind of where you have to go through pain points in life to then learn. We can only create higher realities through experience, and that is the human experience. So expansion isn't about fixing yourself. It's about thinking higher thoughts of who you already are. Why this is important, guys, too, is if you know how reality is created or how you manifest, it's basically your thoughts are in alignment with your reality. Your thoughts create your reality. Your frequency creates your reality. Your perception of yourself, your self-image, creates your reality. So the highest thought that you hold about yourself will determine what your reality is. So what is mirrored back to you, right? How you move in your reality, right? This is why when you remember your truth, when you remember that you are source creator, you are embodying basically the highest form of frequency. So you can make movements without fear. You can make movements without hesitation. You can make movements in trust and knowing that whatever happens, you know that it's divinely guided. Whatever happens, you don't see it as an obstacle. You see it as, you know, an opportunity, or you see it as, you know, that it's happening for you, not to you. You're not the victim in your life. You're empowered, right? You don't see necessarily, I don't want to say the shadow side of it. It doesn't mean that, you know, stuff's not going to trigger you, that it's not, you know, you're going to feel light and love all the time. You know, it just means that when you feel those low states, those low levels of frequency, when you get pulled from your remembering, because that's going to happen, that's the whole point of the human experience. So don't get me wrong when I say you're remembering and you feel, if you feel bad for not always holding that state, there's a point of not being able to hold that state. It's the point of remembering and then not remembering. It's part of the process here. So when you fall away from your remembering, it's the mastery of coming back to it. It's the mastery of the mind to be able to maneuver your way back in and remember again, right? It's to be able to remember how to move energy within the body, what those frequencies actually are, how to see through illusion in the world and to navigate yourself, how to remember your truth again with whatever kind of experience that you are faced in the moment. That is essentially what you are trying to do, is just to come back to your truth and your nature, to remember love, that you are source consciousness, that you are God, that you were never separate to begin with, that you are always safe, that you are always divinely guided, because you are worthy, that you are a child of God. What you desire, what you want for your life, it's already yours. You just have to trust that you will receive it physically in the world. You have to trust that what is truly meant for you will find you. And most of the time, guys, what we think we want, you know, not to say that it's not for us, but the universe always, or God always, seems to deliver something even better than what we could even imagine if we just trust, let go, and let flow, and just follow intuition. And I know it's easier said than done, and it doesn't always make sense. It truly does not always make sense, especially in a world that is built off of logic and organization and masculine energy. Essentially, the logical mind, or the mind in itself, wants organization. It wants answers. It wants predictability. And intuition is not that. It is feeling. It is trusting. It is movement without logic. It's feeling. It's movement with feeling. And that's scary, but it's trusting. And that is the whole point, is faith. So I am sending you guys all of my light and all my love. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it empowered you. I hope that you have an amazing and beautiful and a blessed 2026. Satnam.